Hello, friends. Welcome to Dell Soccer. My name is Delali Frank, and this is News Daily, where I serve you with all the major and trending news in the last few hours. In today's edition, we're going to talk about some few things. We're going to talk about Mohammed Kudus and his transfer, and so many things going around with him, which team he's going next, and what is around Mohammed Kudus. We're also going to talk about Afena Gyan, who has found his scoring boots. We're going to talk about him. We're also going to talk about the Ghana Football Association's elections. Madam Gifty Owari has made a statement. We're going to look into that. We'll also talk about some few things and also do some European transfer details of Neymar's move to Saudi Arabia, and then Caicedo obviously joining Chelsea. If it's your first time, hit on the subscription button and let's build this community together. Without wasting much time, let's get straight into today's news. So let's start off with Mohammed Kudus. I'm sure you know that during the transfer, initially when the transfer window was released, clubs like Chelsea and then Arsenal showed interest in Kudus. Kudus was basically linked to those clubs. But subsequently, the one that became very predominant or dominant was Brighton and Hove Albion, who showed massive interest. And there was a multiple report. I'm sure I also gave you some reports that Brighton and Hove Albion have agreed in principle with Ajax. But what was basically the problem is the fact that Kudus was struggling to agree on terms with Brighton. And I told you and explained to you that in terms of transfer, there's club to club transfer and then club to player transfer. In most cases, where the player wants to go surpasses every other thing. Clubs can agree on transfer deals, but if the player don't want to go, you can't force the player to make the move. The only thing you can do is indirectly frustrate the player, but you can't force and say, okay, we have taken money from this person, so go and play for him. It's not done like that. So it looks as if Kudus is basically struggling to have a proper deal with Brighton and Hove Albion. There's been conversation about release clause inclusion and all that, and we don't really know the rights issue. So as of now, Kudus has still not confirmed with Brighton. And then we just heard some few reports. And then the recent one is that West Ham United has showed massive interest in Kudus and they may hijack the move. West Ham United have also showed a very strong interest in the Ghanaian international who was initially linked with Arsenal and Chelsea. However, as Ajax have agreed a deal with Brighton, Kudus is still reluctant in making that particular move. But according to a lot of reports, West Ham have now opened talks with Ajax to sign the playmaker, if only their player Lucas Paqueta leaves for Manchester City. There's been a report on Twitter that says that West Ham now open initial talks to sign Mohammed Kudus. Priority target is Lucas Paqueta leaves to join Manchester City. At this point, because Kevin De Bruyne himself is also injured, maybe City may trigger that move and get Paqueta. If Paqueta moves, and then Kudus will leave. Kudus, on the other hand, scored a brilliant goal for Ajax in their opening season game. It's obvious that Kudus, obviously is going to score. But one thing that I've realized about this Kudus move is that the young man himself perhaps is waiting for a bigger move. He feels he needs a bigger club to play, like Chelsea or Arsenal or United, but those moves are not coming. And maybe that's why he's also, dragging his feet. But if you ask me, West Ham or Brighton, which of them should he go? West Ham have proven to produce a lot of great talents. They have that ability to develop players. Brighton, the last few seasons, have shown that they are the big sellers. But let's see what happens with Kudus. So that's the recent update. Still, Kudus is a Ajax player. Now, West Ham have showed interest in Kudus. But for I think West Ham is a bit higher than Brighton, if you ask me. I don't know, but yeah, they should be. But let me know what you also think in the comment section. Let's talk about another Ghanaian who is a youngster, went out of the news and gradually coming back into the news, which is a very good news. And that person is Felix Afena Gyan. Afena Gyan scored a great goal for his team when they played a beautiful season when they started the season. The young forward exhibited his powers by finding the net in Cremonense's triumphant 3-1 victory over Cronton. Afena Gyan's contribution was nothing short of remarkable, as he not only scored the opening goal but also played an instrumental role in steering his team to victory in the Coppa Italia clash on Monday. This impressive feat is poised to fuel Afena Gyan's self-assurance as the GSR for Cremonese Serie B opener scheduled for the approaching Saturday. The electrifying display is a statement to his dedication and hard work, setting an optimistic tone for the challenges ahead. Afena Gyan had a very, I don't know how I'm going to describe his season because started the season very well. Had a very good year with Roma, got brought to Cremonese, struggled to even get playing time, missed out at the World Cup. Cremonese went on relegation, have been struggling. But this time around, he got a chance to score that his coach managed. His coach Davide said some few good things about. He said that yes, it was a good match for him, and he was disciplined. Playing with good quality is what you ask of a boy like him. Attention in carving the field, movement, and also generosity in the defensive phase. The Cremonese head coach said that it's good to see Afena Gyan find his feet because he's just 20 years old. Ghana missed out on the Olympic Games, but there's going to be All African Games, which he still qualifies to play for Ghana. So we are wishing him the best of luck, but it's very good. It's very, very good to see these boys show up on that level and play. Let's come home completely and talk about something. Berry Ladies owner Madam Gifty Owari Mensah, when she launched her campaign, she made some few statements. And one thing that she said is that she's hoping to build an environment where we'll have a lot of women in Ghana football. She said that having just a single woman in the ESCO is not pretty much enough. A single woman only in the ESCO is not pretty much enough. That we need a lot of women in our Ghana football ecosystem.
Then, like I promised in my speech, we'll make sure that we get more women in administrative system. Because where you are, you can be heard. Because when we are making a decision, there is no woman sitting on the table, and the only one sitting on the table is just one woman who is only their ESCO rep. There is a problem. So I think that we have to now venture it and push more women to come in. I've seen us bring a woman to come. Ifia is there, and then Bekum Chelsea is doing a lot with our communication and other things. And many other clubs are trying to bring more women. So we'll just sensitize more women, get more women, maybe do more of road shows and let women know that being in football, it's no more the patriarchal game they used to play, but it's something new for us.
And I think I agree with her. We need a lot of women. We need to convince a lot of women to show interest in football. And that's the only way we can improve our game. And let's talk about some European news and transfer news. I think the most predominant one is Neymar. Surprisingly, from Brazil to Spain, Spain to France, France to Saudi Arabia. Those guys are in Saudi Arabia are doing some awesome job there. So Brazil forward Neymar has joined Saudi Arabian side Al Hilal from French champions Paris Saint-Germain. The deal for the former Barcelona player is understood to be worth about 90 million euros, which is equivalent to 77.6 million pounds plus add-ons. Neymar, who joined PSG for a world record fee of 200 million pounds in 2017, was left out of their squad for Saturday's League 1 draw against Lawrence. The 31-year-old was not part of coach Luis Enrique's plans for the new season. His exit also fits PSG's strategy of moving away from the Galacticos era of signing high-profile players for big fees and significant wages, as Neymar also leaves. In a video posted by Ayla on social media, Neymar said, "I am here in Saudi Arabia." The deal is reportedly to be around some huge sums of money that Neymar is going to make at least 150 million euros in a year, 6 times the amount he earned at PSG. Guy, that's some good money. That's some well good money, if you ask me. We are wrapping up with Caicedo. I think Caicedo, yeah, he has moved to Chelsea. Chelsea fans are happy. Everybody's excited. But there's something that I saw about his unveiling video that is quite pretty much interesting. The fact that they turned a big money move into an emotional unveiling with his family is a pretty brilliant move. So that's all for today. We talk about Mohammed Kudus transfer saga. We also talked about Afena Gyan. We talked about Ghana Football Association's election. Talked about Neymar's transfer deal and the details, and then a bit of Caicedo. My name is Lale Franga. Until we meet again, bye bye for now.